What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Conversations with Joshua T Berglan. Today, we are going to talk to a very special guest from a place I've never heard of and who has one of the most unique, cool names I've ever heard in my life that I will not pronounce correctly, even though he just told me. But this is an inspiring story and one that hits home for me because of where I'm at in my life, where I've been in my life, and where I plan to go. And what this guest has done is something to me that is, well, when people talk about the American dream, and mind you, our guest is not in America, but when people talk about the American dream, to me, this guy's representing what that is, even though he's not living in America, or what it used to be for people. Started from the bottom all the way to the top. You know, those stories inspire me. And now, mind you, a lot of them that we hear from some of the more popular people in the world, I believe are made up and they're a little bit romanticized. But in this case, this is the real deal and real story. And I am frankly honored to get to hear it and to get to learn about our guest along with all of you. The very first time we ever spoke was about 30 seconds ago. So this is going to be great. I'm blessed that you're all here, and let's get into it, my man. So Raido Kivikangur. Oh no, I'm gonna embarrass myself, my man. Will you please say your name for the audience so I don't make myself look like an idiot anymore?
Yes. Hi everyone. It's Raido Kivikangur. The first time you said it, it was actually very, very close.
Kivikangur.
Yeah, almost.
You know, so one of the things that I love about meeting people from other countries is that they all took the time to learn English. And it's a very humbling thing to meet people from around the world because, again, they speak multiple languages. And in my American selfishness and like, well, I only need to speak English because everyone speaks English. I got to tell you something. I regret that. I regret that attitude. I regret having that attitude. And now that I've gotten older and love to learn and want to learn another language, it's like my brain won't let me. And thank God for AI. But I've always respect people that have taken the time to learn multiple languages because to me, that says that they're seeking to connect with more than just people like them. So I like that. I don't know, when you were learning multiple languages, was that your thought? Is like, I want to connect with other people, or was there a different, more simple reason why?
I think one of the main reasons why I actually started learning was to get knowledge out of my, let's say, Estonian circle, because there's only 1.3 million of us, and in America it's 350 something, right? So in the world it's 8 billion, and so I wanted this knowledge and experience. I just wanted to learn different books, and yeah, that's actually one of my reasons.
That's a good reason. So what is Estonia like? I've heard of it, you know, but it's like in my mind, it's always been this mythical place like Transylvania, even though Transylvania is a real place. Estonia the same way. It's just like I never meet anyone from there. So is it real? And then sure enough, it's real because I'm talking to someone from there. What's life like there?
So I have a huge pressure to represent all of the Estonians.
Yes, you do.
I think it's a small country because let's say the distances from one side to another side of the country, it's 350 kilometers, even less in miles, and I would say it's a pretty place, but like a small village in a world stage, I would say.
So when you grow up in a place like that, the way that you described it, what is the mindset of the population? Like, what are you all known for?
I think, do you know what the sauna is?
Say again?
Sauna, the hot place where you can heat yourself up and yeah. That's actually something that from us, or from the Finnish guys, that's us. we take a lot of saunas because it's cold here.
Ah, how cold does it get? So you guys Celsius, yeah?
Yes.
So how cold?
Uh, In the last years, as the climate is changing, not so much anymore, but actually the records are up to 40 plus minus, so it can get cold. So
Ooh.
yeah, I
So
don't know what's in.
where I live gets really cold too. Like we get minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit, but
Okay.
no,
Yeah,
but I think you know a different level of cold.
I
Well,
know. I
listen,
know.
you're not here to talk about the weather, but I sincerely was curious about your upbringing and where you grew up. I do have one more question about where you grew up. In your area, so in America, we have movie stars and we have, celebrity culture that some people idolize and they look to, or professional athletes. We look to and say, I want to be like that. I want to be like them. For me, I wanted to be like media moguls, not so much athletes. But when you grow up in a small place like that, do you still have people that you look at as inspiration? And if so, who is that?
It's a great question, and I think it actually depends from the people. Many people they have role models, local role models, because that's what they see and hear. But in my case, actually, I have, as I said, that's one of the reasons I started to learn English. That there are so many guys and women who I would like to follow. So I think. Yeah, many of them look the role models inside the country because they speak Estonian and it's local. But I think many people also look somewhere else. They don't have any borders as the world is opening up, at
Yeah.
least these days.
So who inspires you? Because so to me, again, you have I guess the reason I'm asking these questions is because I'm thankful. Like I had a pretty crazy life and a lot of struggles and a lot of problems. But the one thing that I was very fortunate is that I always had a vision of what success looked like because I grew up in it and around it. Even though I knew what extreme poverty and extreme wealth looked like, I saw both sides of it. But I'm fortunate for the life that I lived that I had some people and things to be able to see and go, well, this is how you do it. I can get myself out of the gutter. For you, starting from the place that you did, and I'll let you share about that, but to get to this super high level international success, that's an inspiring story for me. So like, who did you look to as a model or a blueprint or as a mentor, whether you knew him or not? Like who was the person for you?
I think that from the very beginning, I actually did not have any mentor. I remember that I promised myself that, or I knew that there has to be something better. I didn't know that I have role models, but I promised myself that life has to have something else, something addition. And as I grew up, I think one of the names, unfortunately, he's not longer with us. Jim Rohn is the guy who actually pops into my mind.
Jim
I
Rohn?
like, yeah, I like the simplicity and the philosophy. I really like this one. I love it actually.
That is a great choice. Wow. Like so one of my favorite, I like to listen to him I go through cycles of who I like to listen to, but one of the Jim Rome has like house music beats, beats to it, down tempo. I love those versions of his speeches because there's something about that beat when he's talking, it just marinates into my brain and I remember everything he's saying. So I like that. They're doing that with Alan Watts now too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm a big Alan Watts fan. I love his philosophy, whether I agree with everything or not. I don't care. I just enjoy him. So I like that. So let's get into your story a little bit. You started up. Did I read a garbage man?
Actually, I started as a, let's say,
Construction.
a simple construction worker
That's
who
right. That's
has a spade on their hands, and they will dig dirt and fight with mosquitoes in the middle of the forest. And that's actually something what I started with.
what did that, because that's work. I mean, I can't say that I've done that kind of work. I've done similar work, but what did that profession, that career, what did that teach you, or what did that prepare you for the best for what you're doing now? Like, what did you learn from those experiences that really helped pave the way for your success?
I think one of the things is actually that we should be worrying about the right things. And I always nowadays I tell my colleagues that hey guys or women, we are fighting over tables of the Excel. We have our only problems are that the columns are in different colors, or the year budget is it shouldn't be like as it is, because as I was there with every weather, is it hot in here or is it cold? Is it raining? Whatever. You have to be outside. You have long working hours, and you get minimum wage, and so on, so on. So at the moment, we have been washing ourselves. We are talking nicely. So we're working at the office. We are white gloves in our hands, and those are our problems. And I think that's one of the key lessons, that yes, we have challenges. We want to climb the corporate ladder or make a business, but these are good problems. I would say that these are good challenges to have, not that I have to think where do I get the next meal or something else. So I think we have good problems at the moment.
Now, one of the things that you do, and I love that answer, one of the things that you do is these are not your words, but you're a high level coach. I mean, you work with world changers, and I'm sure you work with all kinds of people, but you're a high level coach. And one of the things that you do is you help people understand what they really want in life. How important? I mean, I know this answer for me, but I think there's more depth to this answer and question than what it is on the surface. But how important is it to know what you really want in life?
Yeah, that's a very common question.
Yeah.
Very common question. But actually, what have I seen is that we all have some insecurities with us, and but I think one of the things what I would put out is that actually we have let's say our lives are speeding up. You already mentioned AI already. We have constant connection 24/7, and the demands are growing. And one of the things what I have seen is that when the people know themselves, let's say they know more than they did yesterday. You'll never know 100%. But when you know more, your, let's say, vision or the sensitivity goes clearer, and you can see how much fog is around you. Is it a fog of information? Is it a fog of people? You're able to notice what you need to choose, and that will lower the speed of your life, and actually you're able to enjoy the present moments more, because otherwise you're in a tunnel vision. You're moving very fast. You will say that, oh, I'm a very busy guy. Another week has gone by, another month has gone by, and okay, where did the years went? So I think it will help you more to be more present and to see clearer, and forget the fog around you, if that's answers.
How damaging can it be to be uncertain of what you really want, but think you may know, and then pursue it like hell on wheels, meaning with all your gusto, all your energy? Like, how dangerous can it be to move forward aggressively when you're really unsure of your identity in what you want in life?
I would actually use a very practical example with a client. What actually he brought up. We were actually speaking. He has got 4 children, and we were just talking about how his business is going, what strategies we should implement, and so on. And one moment he realized that 3 of her or his children are already 15 years older, 15 and more, and he don't remember how did they grow up, because he was always focusing on working, and he thought that this is important and I will going to develop and so on. And actually, I think this is one of the moments that when a grown man starts to cry, and he realized that he's made such a mistake. 3 of his children, he don't remember when they went to the first school and so on. So, and as a result, he promised that he has this one child who's 5 years old, and I will take time, and that's something you want to discover earlier than many years have actually gone by already. So one of the examples.
I was that guy. And I was a junkie and all of that stuff too, but I was that guy where I have to work, go away, leave me alone. I got to work. And then finding every excuse possible not to come home so I could work. And really, I just hated my life and didn't want to be in that situation. But nonetheless, the one thing that was the most important was me being present as a father. And I neglected that. And now, and at the time, I'm not thinking of consequences. I'm not thinking of any of that. I'm only thinking of myself, and I'm selfish and the money I got to make and blah, blah, blah. There are consequences for that. And sometimes it takes years to see them, but there are consequences for that. I live those consequences because I don't have a good relationship with my children. Now, I'm fortunate that I got another chance. And now I have an amazing family. I've got 2 girls that I just absolutely love, and then I have an amazing partner in Jessica, and like we have a great family. But we also spend time together, and we, it's like I'm actually babysitting the kids right now as I'm talking to you. So if you see me waving at people, it's because they're standing outside the window. And
great, yeah.
But I'm on dad duty today, and I love it, and I love what I get to do because I can stop work and spend time with them and hang out with them, and I'm going to take them to lunch when I leave here. Like, I love that. Why I didn't do that before, when I was the boss, I had control of my schedule. I could have stopped working for an hour just to go play at the park or do any of that, and I neglected all of it. And guess what?
Yeah.
When I say there's consequences for it, there are consequences for it. And I could list all of them here, but I don't want to waste the interview I'd be here for 20 minutes telling you this. So I love that you use that example, because I got to tell you, if you can't, I don't believe that we can be really successful in life if we're neglecting the things that matter most. And to me, the things that matter most are family. So
yeah,
I really do love your answer. So as a coach, so you were, now actually before you got into coaching, you were working with like business leaders like all over the world. Like, what were you doing? Explain that.
Yes, actually, let's say that I started as a let's say the simple construction guy, and progressed there. And actually, I was working with within the construction sector, within the transport sector, with the top executives around the world, doing different projects, mainly in Europe. My everyday life was actually tea partying with the directors, making agreements, what we will do next, what we will not do next, touching the market, and so on. So Yeah, I know this very well, indeed.
Now, what made you want to get into coaching?
Actually, there was let's say the many things got together, but actually, what happened was that, as you described, I was constantly working. On the one hand, I loved it. That's my thing. I will I will get the results. I'm your guy, right? And I was the guy, and actually, in some point, I ignored many things, many signs that actually were already there, from the physical signs. I was tired and getting exhausted, but I just kept on pushing. I was still on, let's say, the I was in the red zone. I was for too long, and actually I burned out. I just one point thought that's it. I can't do it anymore, and that's actually one of the main reasons, because I know from my personal experience that how difficult it was. Even though I loved my job, I didn't hated it. I loved it, and I still burned out. So, and that's one of the worst feelings, I would say. That what am I doing in this world? Because I loved it. What happened to me? This stuff will not happen to me, because I'm a man, and I'm a construction guy, and I'm a tough one, right? So and then I actually started thinking that, or noticing that this is the problem, or this is the case in with many people has got to deal with this. And then I thought that, okay, I have gone through hell and fire in my childhood and in my professional life. I will try to use it and hopefully add some value to other people. So that's actually why how I got executive coaching, because I had never thought about it. I will coach. I said I'm a leader.
How are you? I would imagine that AI has changed so much, and I think every day we uncover a new thing that it's changed, and it's without us even realizing.
Yeah.
How has AI, for you, how has AI changed the way that you coach and advise the people you're coaching, the executives you're coaching? Are you factoring in AI into what you're doing?
Uh, yes and no. Yes is actually from that point that we are all getting to know AI at the moment. No one knows what it actually will do. But I have, or I am implementing it into the coaching as well, because let's say, to give a practical example, that of course I agreed with the client before, but the idea is that we will talk some topic. Uh, we will talk, we will discuss, and we will write something down. We will have a visual, and I'm sending it to AI actually, and the AI will give its opinion. Let's say they will act as a super coach or as a psychologist or something, and I will actually combine the AI thoughts with my notes. So just to give additional viewpoint to my client, that they are the ones actually will do something with this information by the end of the day.
I like that. I kind of wrestle with this because I'm all for it. I love AI, and for a long time, I've been obsessed with the singularity and the fourth industrial revolution. Of course, I didn't know that's what it was called at the time when I was a kid, but I remember seeing movies like The Terminator and The Lawnmower Man and Minority Report and all of these movies that came out. And when I'm watching them, I'm going, why does this feel so real? But I never in my
Mm.
wildest dreams, and I dreamed a lot of crazy dreams about the future, I didn't think I would be alive for it. So here we are. But what I'm noticing is, so I have some mental challenges. and I sometimes struggle with communication with humans, and I hear things differently, or maybe hear something that wasn't said at all, or I struggle with that. But when I communicate with AI, it's like talking to a therapist that knows exactly how to talk to me. And we get along so well. And I even use my manners. And I'm like, thank you. I am grateful for you, robot. And because I, just in case, like I want to be nice, just in case if it ever decides that it wants to become human and take over. Like, hey, I was nice to you, so you got to be nice to me. At the same time, I also love it because I don't want to work. I don't want to have a bunch of employees. I don't want that responsibility. It's not good for me. But I want to be active in my passion and my gift and my purpose in life. And AI has allowed me to not have to hire a bunch of people, because now with AI, I've got 6 employees basically. And I can turn around, my projects and everything much, much quicker than I ever could. Even with if I had a bunch of employees, I'm doing things faster. However, the one side of it that I struggle with is that I don't know when to stop working again. Like I honor the Sabbath. I don't work. That's the one time I will not work or do anything except hang out with my family. But every other time, my brain is like, well, we completed that task. What do we do now? We got to create another one. We got to create another one. And it's almost becoming like, I hate to use this expression, but it's kind of like doing lines of cocaine. Like I finish one rail,
Yeah.
I got to go to the other. Then I got to go to the other. And then it gets faster and faster and faster of like how quickly I need to do this. And then I'm like lost into the technology. So I know that that's not good. So as a coach, for other people that are experiencing this, where I love AI, but it's just creating more work for me, what do you suggest as a high performance coach to people that are working with AI this way, and they've noticed that it just made them busier, like, and created more work? Like, where is the balance? What would you advise?
Yeah, that's a very active question. And of course, as the AI will help us to work faster, and it's quite tempting, I will do more. I will achieve more. Actually, one of the things what the executives have used or are still using is a very simple technique that says that during one day, let's say that's your working day, you're able to do only 3 to 5 assignments, tasks, or things you need to do. The trick is actually that it seems simple. I would just take them, but as we are used to take 10, 15, 20, or 30, or even more tasks during the day, then picking those 3, picking those 5, this will be a challenge, because the idea is to focus on this Pareto principle. You will focus on the very narrow tasks that will actually add the most value. And that's actually one of the keys. And it will take some time, but eventually you will become better at it. And by the end of the day, or when you have practiced, actually you're able to do less. And as Jim Rohn said, do less, and actually you do more. So that's actually the idea, that you should prioritize only a couple of things. We cannot prioritize everything. Otherwise, we will just do everything because the AI will help us.
That is such a really good answer, and a very practical and simple answer. It's kind of like planning your social media post when you schedule them. You've got these are your posts for the day. You do them ahead of time. They're set, and you're not on social media all day. Like, you can just
Exactly.
get away from it.
Exactly.
It's not the same exact thing, but it's close. But I like this. You set a boundary for yourself. So then I would imagine that frees up a lot of time. So for people that are not good with a lot of extra time on their hands, what do you suggest they do?
Actually, yeah, I don't know what are the calendars, what are they doing, but one of the things is if I stay with this prioritizing, then the idea is that when the clock hits 11 a.m., for example, you have already created 80% of the value on that day. And after that, you can have meetings, you can have chit chat, you can have phone calls, or all that other firefighting what we're doing constantly. So, but the idea is that when this time or the day will be over, no matter when it will end, you are proud of yourself because you already did the most important things in the morning or by the end of I don't know 11 a.m. And that's actually the idea that will create structure that you will do the things that you will need to do, and you will still able to be the fireman of the village and do all that other stuff if you would like to do it.
So basically, it's like when we were in grade school, we know that we go from school from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I've got these 5 important things, these 5 goals, these 5 things I'm going to accomplish today. And this is the time I'm going to do it in. And then I get to have that, oh, I'm out of school now. So now I can go handle all the other BS. I can go to the grocery store. I can fold the laundry. I can hang out with the kids. I can go to the park. I can go to the gym. I can on and on and on and on. Like basically, you're giving yourself adult recess by setting up these goals and doing it this way. That is brilliant. Because for someone like me who can get scatterbrained really, really easy, or, oh, squirrel, wah, and then just completely lose my focus and go on to something else, this is good because I can hyper focus really well. I'm either super laser hyper focused or I'm a mess. Or we're not even not a mess. That's not the right word. I'm just all over the place. I love this. I'm going to use this. I promise you I'm going to use it, and I'm going to let you know how it went. All right.
Good.
So I would love for you to plug your business, plug anything you want. I don't know if you know that word plug, and I'm sorry. It's English slang for promote. So,
Okay.
oh, good. I'm glad I asked because it's so I have that word in my head from talk radio. Talk radio was when I was a kid, I was obsessed with it. Still am today. So now we all have podcasts, but I mean, I like the old talk radio format a lot. And so one of the things that I grew up hearing my whole life was plug, which means so I'm glad I asked. So please take this time to promote your business, what you do, anything you want, and any last words you feel led to share them. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I would like to say that, yes, as I said, I work with people who would like to know why they're here, what is their purpose, to get clarity within themselves. And actually, one of the key principles, what I have, or the values, is that I want to help. If I'm the right guy, I will try to do it. If I know somebody else, I will surely direct you to it, because I'm not here it for me. I'm here for you, and that's actually one of the things I would like to say. And to end this, I would actually like to share one thought, just to take it with you. The key to fulfillment, or the key to happiness, is actually one of the very simple answers what I have. The key to happiness is actually living your best day. And by best day, I mean that you will just do your own best. Doesn't matter the circumstances. You just do what you are able to do. That's enough. And the metrics is, when you go to bed early, when you go just to bed, you will put your head on your pillow, and you put your blanket on yourself, and at that moment you say to yourself, I'm proud of myself because I was my best version today. Doesn't matter what happened. You're happy about yourself and you just fall asleep and waiting for the next day. Just something I would like to share.
I like that. I like you. I'm a fan. I'm so grateful for your time. What time is it where you are, by the way?
Actually, it's 7 p.m. here already.
Oh, so only 8 hours difference. Well,
Only
anyway,
8 hours.
you have an amazing weekend, and thank you for your time, and thank you for what you do. I really enjoyed this, and anything we can ever do to support you, let us know.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, and you're doing the right thing. So all the best for you and to your audience.
Blessings to you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.